my fellow crafters, and welcome back to Inspiration for Cards. My name is David, and today I'm going to be making a card for you. And it's going to be a fun card, at least I think so, because I get to play with one of my favorite stamp sets. But I will get to that in a minute. Let me talk you through what I'm going to be using, but as usual I will link everything below in the description box for you to find. These are affiliate links, and if you would like to buy something that I'm using today, it would be much appreciated if you use those. Now, while I'm at it, if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do so, because that would really make my day. Thank you for that. Right, now to the project. What I've done, I'm using the Master Layouts 8, which is the bigger rectangle. I've cut out the layers that I'm going to be using. I've cut out a black matte layer, then I've cut out a green layer that is also going to be functioning as a matte layer. And then out of some watercolor cardstock, I've also die cut this one again. But then I just trimmed off the stitched edges to make another layer. So I'm going to have 3 panels on the front of this big card. So we're going to make a bigger card today. I'm going to put this to the side. Then I have my favorite here, which is the Elizabeth Craft Designs Blooms collection. And actually one of my favorite stamps in that collection is this one. It's the Respect. It's got the matching die set to it, and I'm going to be working with those today. Now, to save some time in this video, I've already stamped out the images. I will show you in a second. I've stamped out the image and I've already colored this one. Just for some time saving, and I've stamped out another one. Now what I did, I stamped it out using the VersaFine black Onyx ink, and then covered that in the superfine detail embossing powder from Ranger, and that created this part. I'm gonna color this in, show you how I colored this in. This is a very quick and dirty, I would always say, almost say, way to color in the blooms, but it's turning out lovely. So I've got some more elaborate ways of coloring. I'm loving my tri-blends to color, but this is also a very simple way to do that. So I'll get to that in a second. I'll put this to the side before I mess it up. But before we do anything else, I'm going to color my background. So I'm gonna take my Misty, because I'm gonna make a background using the Oxides, but with a twist. So I will peel this off. In here I have the Sizzix sticky grid, which is a perfect lightly sticking material, which will hold my card into place perfectly while stamping. So I'm gonna put that one on there. Then I'm gonna take my stamps, and I'm going to take out the leaf stamp. That's this one. So I've stamped these out using the big flower, and the other one is this one. And I'm gonna use this leaf to create a background. So I'm gonna pick this up with my Misty, and I have to work quite quick because the Oxides dry quicker than a pigment ink. So, but I do want to use the bundled sage, and yeah, I don't have that in a pigment ink. So we're gonna get a wiggle on and stamp that quickly. So I'm gonna ink up my stamp and press it on. Ink up my stamp again, because I want a good layer on there, and press it down. So that's on there. Then I'm gonna take off my stamp and gonna reposition that. And I will reposition that again. Put that there. And then what I'll do, I'll pick it up, heat emboss it, and then I will stamp the bottom part. So stamp that, ink up again. Peel it off the sticky grid. Get a scrap piece of paper and put the embossing powder on. Powder is on there. And I will melt this and then we'll continue. Okay, this is beautifully heat embossed, so I'm gonna take my stamp again and I'm going to continue stamping and filling in this background. And I want to make sure there's enough ink on there. So that's why I'm inking it up twice. And the last one is going to be over here. And then we're going to cover that up in embossing powder again. Okay, and cover it up again. With embossing powder. And I will quickly heat set this off camera and then I'll be back. There we go. Beautifully embossed. And this is step 1 of the background because I'm going to do a bit more to it. What I'm going to do is I've got my brush here and I know the last color I used with this brush is Bundled Sage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly with the leftover from the brush color the leaves in, giving it a soft look, and that's not the final step, but I just want these to be having a soft blend of Bundled Sage. Nice. Now this is already a beautiful background, right? I don't want to do much to it normally, but I'm gonna continue. Just gonna clean off that embossing powder. It's a sort of an emboss resist technique. Not sort of, it is. Next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some Rustic Wilderness on my craft mat, together with some Bundled Sage. And I will give that a spritz of water. So it pearls up. Gonna loosen that up because I want the bigger droplets. And then I'm gonna tap this in here. Randomly, just picking up that color, mixing it up. Okay, then I'm going to put that down. I'm going to take my piece of paper and my heat tool and I'm going to dry that. But while it's drying, I am going to tap it. And that gives me slightly darker edges and giving me nice and organic background. And I think this is enough. However, I'm still gonna do one more thing to it, but just let me clean this mess up before I make even a bigger mess out of it. Right, what I'm gonna do now, and this is where I said it doesn't really matter that I smudged a bit because you don't even see that anymore. I'm gonna take my water sprayer and some paper towel. And what I want to do is normally I like this distress sprayer because there are two settings in a way on it. You can, when you fully commit to the spray, so spray quickly, you get a mist of water. But what I'm going to do, so I'm going to try to show you on camera, is press it halfway slowly and then you get bigger droplets, and that's what I want. You see? Slowly, and you get the droplets. And I'm going to give that a second to work in on the ink. And then I'm going to tap it off. And what you will see is that it will take off some of the darkness of the paint. And since these are the oxides, it will oxidize even more. There we go. I think this is a lovely background. So we've got an emboss resist. Now what I will do now, I will let this dry further and I will continue with coloring. So I'm going to put this to the side and I'm going to show you how I achieved this. So I'm going to put down some bundled sage. I'm going to put down some dried marigold. And as I said, it's a really simple and quick way of doing it. So I've got a water brush here. It's the brand Sakura water brush. I like them because they have a very fine tip. This is the bigger brush. This is a fine brush tip, but they are very pointy and stay like that. And that's what I like. Okay, I'm gonna dip my brush into the water and I'm going to pick up some of the bundled sage. And just gonna color in the leaves with that. Very quick and easy. Because of this fine point, this helps me to stay within the lines. But what also really helps is that it's heat embossed. Since I'm not a king of coloring, and I don't think I've ever showed coloring on my channel before. Yeah, I did it during a live the other day. Using watercolor, but yeah, it's not my strongest point, I always think, but this way is so quick and easy. And what I like is that it's the same color as that I've used in the background. Even if I go out a bit, I don't really care that much. Gives it an organic look. But I'm trying to stay within the lines. Get a piece of paper towel, clean it off, and then I'm going into the dried marigold. I'm just gonna put that color all over this flower. Just quickly. And don't get me wrong, I really love coloring with the alcohol markers. But that takes a lot longer, at least for me. And the problem with me is that I'm a perfectionist, and with the darker and lighter shades, I really want it to be perfectly blended and have the dark where the dark should be and the highlight where the highlight should be, and so on and so on. And with this, yeah, it's quite simple. There we go. First layer is on there. So next I'm going to take some Rustic Wilderness. So I'm going to go slightly darker and some spiced marmalade. Put that on my craft mat. Take my smaller brush, wet that, and pick up some of the darker green and go over that bundled sage, to create a bit of a shadow. Now these stems make it easy because where the dots are is where the shadow is. So I'm just gonna, but you see with this very fine tip, you can really delve into it, come back, creating that shadow, or at least the illusion of shadow. And this is what I mean. Here you have the darker dots and you know that this is where the darker color needs to be. It really helps you along. Okay, I'm going to take some more of this green. The darker green, and I'm going to fill in the stem of this flower. And this fine point enables me to really come in between these lines, because this is quite small. But if you have a small brush, yeah, you can really stay within the lines, or even if you go out a bit like I do, I don't care. Don't repeat that. I can't help myself. I'm trying to do the best I can, and normally I'm going a bit slower. But because I'm filming now, of course, I don't want it to be too long. So I will try to, because I will try to fix this a bit, because Distress ink is water reactive. So if I go over it, there you go. Nobody sees that. Well, you, because you know it, but okay. So then I'll have a look, and I will just pick up the dried Marigold, let the green dry, and I'm just gonna color in the darker bits of the leaves to give that some dimension, like that. Clean off my brush and blend that together with the dried Marigold. This is the specialized, the spice marmalade. Sorry, can't read upside down. Spice marmalade that I've put on as a second color. And this is where I can lose myself. And I can say, oh, a bit more there, and I need a bit more shadow here, and I need a bit more shadow there, and I will not do that. I think this is pretty, right? I don't think we need anything more. Besides, I don't want to see white in there, so perfect. Well, no, not perfect, but it doesn't have to be perfect. That's what I keep telling myself. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Look, we've got them matching now. So I'll clean this up. There we go. Now, what I will do next is I will take my white gel pen and I will put on some dots, because one thing that I have learned when I was a makeup artist, without light there's no dark, and without dark there's no light. So I'm going to put some dots, and that will even accentuate the darker bits even more. And these are my flowers done. You gotta love it. Well, no, you don't have to, but I love it. Okay. Right, I'm done with the oxides, so these can go to the side. And then I will get my dyes out. Then I want to show you how easy it is to line these up. Got my low-tack tape that I will still put on my hand to make less sticky. After all this work, I don't want it to rip. So, right, I'm going to take my dye and put it over this, and these line up very easily. I just have to get my head a bit in the way to be able to look. But this is really easy, especially when you stamp it out in black. There we have it. There we have it. So I'm gonna take a piece of tape and make sure this does not move anymore. Okay, that's one. I will do the second one off camera, but it's just as simple. And I will die cut them out, and then I will be back. But you see, there it's already lined up. It's very quick and easy. Okay, now my background is nice and dry. And then I'm going to have a look. But I love how that is matching. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off. we go. And I will cut this off. And that's the beauty of these dies. You don't have to use them in the way they are designed. I will just very loosely cut this off and cut this off. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now what I will do to fix this, this was something that I've learned from Els van den Burg. You see, here you see where I've cut. There's no white outline. So I'm going to take my gel pen and I'm just going to go over that. Giving it the illusion that it's not cut off. You see that? Now you've got a white line there. And I will do the same. No, there's nothing here. But I went outside the line a bit here. And this is also a way that you can correct that. And the same here. I can fix that by going over with that white gel pen. Nobody will ever know that you've messed up. Hey, isn't that fantastic? But I like it when this one is behind here. No, I want this one there. And I want that one here. And this gives it a bit more the idea of it going around the page. And then here I can do my sentiment. Do I want this here? No, I think it's enough. I think it's enough. This can go here. Like that. Like that. Now, about my sentiment, I'm not sure yet what I will do. Let me think. Let me think. I've got this nice small sentiment set here, but I've also got the pre things from Tim Holtz that I really like. The small talk and the chit chat I've got. Let me see what I have here. Now, I love these, don't get me wrong, but I want the got these as well. Yeah, okay. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be using Tim Holtz stickers, the Idea-ology label stickers, and I'm going to use one of those on here. But first I'm going to assemble this. Now I want to raise this flower up a tiny bit. So I'm going to take my foam tape and put that on the back. I'm going to put some glue behind there because I want to make sure that I have some wiggle room so I can get it perfectly right. And I haven't put the tape everywhere because I want to be able to tuck some things underneath. And I also don't want it to be completely straight on there because that's not nice. So I'm going to do it like this. And I don't mind it if these hang over a bit. Actually, I like that. So that's good. And then I'm going to take this one. Tuck that under there. There we go. And as you see, I did not put the glue all the way here because I like it when this is popping up a bit. So that's there. And then the final one is gonna go here. Just gonna trim this off. But I like how it's going in a curve. I really like that. So I'm gonna put some glue here. And slide that under there. But you see how detailed these dies are, with all the open areas in the die. Yeah, really nice. I love this die set and the stamp set. I think I want this here. I'm just gonna cut this off a bit. Was it? Yeah. Go. Just going to put some glue behind to fill up this bit here a bit. There we go. So that's on there now. I really love how this background is marrying in with the color of the leaves, etc. So I'm gonna first glue this on. Glue the green panel on the black panel, and I'm using glue. Tape would be far more efficient, I know, but since there is a very small border on this, I need to get it right, and I need some wiggle time, and that's the benefit of this glue. It gives me some wiggle time to make sure it is perfectly aligned. Straight. Perfect. That's what I like. Then I'm going to do the same with this beautiful front panel. And I'm going to put on a bit more glue than I would normally do because it is quite warped because from all the water and the heat embossing, etc. So I'm going to have to pick this up to be able to line it up. Very nice. And the green is picking up the green in here, and the black is picking up the black from the stamp. So now it's ready to go onto my card base. So I'm going to put some tape behind here. I've got this massive roll of tape from 3M. Yeah, it's a massive roll. It works like a charm. And again, I will put on some glue on here to give me some wiggle time, because I want to get this on there straight. It would be a shame if we mess it up now, right? We've done too much work in this. We've got too much done. So let me line this up nicely. There we go. That's on there. Now we just need a sentiment to be on there. I like this Celebrate You, but it's too long. So I'm gonna trim it off. And I'm going to put this right here. I have to pick it up, sorry guys, but I want it on there straight. Celebrate. And then I will put the U just under here. Celebrate You. Love it. Black comes back from the matte layer. It's a beautiful card. It's got dimension, it's got color. Yeah, I really love how this came together. So here is the final result. I really like how this turned out. It's a beautiful card. It's got dimension, it's got color splashes. Yeah, it's everything I had in mind and more. I love how this turned out. Beautiful card. So if you like this card, please give it a thumbs up. Comment below, always welcome. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. For now, I would like to thank you for watching this one, and I love to see you for the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.